mechanism that has changed the world through communication. They have been on letters and packages that have crossed front lines. They've spread propaganda, expressed love, united people. They have birthed new countries. They have traveled to the moon, and they've supported revolutions in industry, travel, sport, and politics. Stamps are the physical items that have been collected for over 180 years. Many stamp enthusiasts collect because it is an escape from the digital, because it is a connection to the past. Stamps have provided new insights and different perspectives of the historical narratives out there. A true stamp collector, a philatelist, a postal historian that collects covers and postcards, revealing tales of messages being sent between here and there, isn't obsessed with monetary value. They are obsessed with learning, obsessed with exploring accessible historical artifacts that tell us about a place and time. There are very few hobbies that can do this with the scale and enjoyment that stamp collecting offers. So this is something that I have avoided for some time. A crypto stamp, a really new concept in the world of philately that I have avoided partly because I just didn't understand it, or anything in the world of crypto collectibles, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, blockchain technology, tokens, and all the other buzzwords and jargon that go along with it. Also, I struggle to see how crypto stamps and NFTs are connected to the world of stamps and philately that I love. But NFTs and the crypto space are extremely popular right now.
NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, they're taking over the art world.
Curious about this. One of the hot financial trends on the internet is something called NFTs.
NFTs. Non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, are exploding in popularity.
Now, stamp collecting, or philately, is entering into this space in various forms. This is one of those forms. A stamp issued by a legit postal service that has a digital twin powered by the Ethereum blockchain, which might not make sense right now, but hopefully will in a few minutes, because although I've been avoiding crypto stamps for some time, Austria Post have forced me to learn about it. They've played a move that I cannot ignore. They issued this crypto stamp 3.1 with imagery of a rhino. Among my collection of stamps, I have a few, very few topical collections. Stamps that I collect centered around a topic where I try to get almost every stamp ever issued that features this topic. Rhino stamps are my favorite topic to collect, and many of my viewers have contributed to this collection with rhino stamps, covers, postcards, and more. So thanks to this crazy coincidence, Austria have forced me to look into the world of crypto for the sake of my own collection. That this audience is primarily stamp collectors, philatelists, postal historians, and so on. I already know that most of you are uninterested in this concept because I ran a poll on Twitter and YouTube asking about the concept of NFTs, and the majority of participants were against the idea that it is a part of philately. While several of you were like me and didn't know enough about NFTs to make a decision. Even so, if you've made up your mind already, I encourage you to keep watching, because stamp collecting is getting involved in an interesting new technology and a craze that is pushing the boundaries of the collecting space. And whether or not you consider this to be a part of our hobby, it is really fascinating, and this gives us an opportunity to learn about it. The concept of digital collectibles is a very recent trend, and while online gaming with collecting badges and accessories has been around for some time, the concept of actually owning a digital collectible asset is what the hype is all about at the moment. This includes videos, memes, GIFs, music, and the list goes on. These are all popular items to collect, and by collect, you actually have ownership of the digital collectible asset, just as if I purchased a physical stamp and placed it in my stamp album. Purchasing a digital collectible is very similar in that you're actually considered to be the owner of a very specific item. You may have already seen on the news ridiculous amounts of money being spent to purchase NBA highlights or pixelated crypto punks and crypto kitties, cat gifs. Even Twitter founders Jack Dorsey sold his very first tweet for a whopping $2.9 million. So what is enabling this trend, this sudden excitement to collect digital things? Well, it's all part of a new technology that is expected to change a lot of how we do things today. The blockchain. A blockchain is a system utilizing a vast network of computers that keep track of transactions in a decentralized ledger. This means that there is no one place where information is stored. Rather, it is stored in numerous places throughout the network, and all of these blocks of information can quickly be linked together to learn about the transactional history of an item and validate its authenticity. Cryptocurrencies are exploding at the moment due to the blockchain infrastructure. A system where no bank is required offers some benefits that speculators and investors are looking to capitalize on. And collectors are enjoying this technology for similar reasons, one of which is provenance, being able to trace and validate past ownership of an item, who had it and how much they spent on it, which is very difficult to do in the real world. Authenticate that something is real by tracing back its past ownership right to the very beginning. But it's something that art enthusiasts and philatelists take very seriously. While this technology provides provenance with ease, it's all there in a decentralized ledger. Which brings us to the second thing, is that it is said to be very difficult, if not impossible, to manipulate records in the blockchain or even delete them. Several encrypted nodes within the network have to validate the transaction. You are getting the information from several secure sources. All of these records are permanently stored on the blockchain. Now, there are a number of other capabilities being explored that may interest the collecting community as well. One of which would be the ability to provide royalties to the artist each time their artwork is sold. So the original artist gets to benefit from continued selling of their artwork, especially if it appreciates over time. But the big hype that is driving a lot of people to collect these items, these digital assets, is the belief that they're going to be rich one day, that their collection is going to be worth a lot of money. And we'll get to that in a bit. Blockchain technology is promising efficiency and transparency, and all sorts of industries are rushing to the blockchain space, finding the opportunity to rethink processes and potentially solve problems that they have today, from legal contracts to medical data, media licensing, real estate investment, and more, not to mention how it is already disrupting the banking world. So it's actually no surprise that collectors of things got excited about this, and it's pushing the boundaries of blockchain capabilities. Not everything about this technology is perceived to be great, however. There are some negatives being called out, including the amount of power that is required to run all these blockchain systems. An issue for climate change, of course, as well as the lack of regulation that could cause a bit of a risky environment for a number of reasons. Now, a term that you've already heard in this video, and you'll continue to hear, is NFT, non-fungible token. Videos, GIFs, memes, digital art, and a simple tweet have all been sold as an NFT on a blockchain. But what exactly does that mean? Well, NF, non-fungible, means that it is irreplaceable. It is simply unique. It cannot be swapped out or traded for something identical. A dollar bill, however, is a fungible item. It doesn't matter if I have this one, or even 4 quarters. It gets me what I want. It is totally fungible. Bitcoin and any cryptocurrency is the same. It doesn't matter which particular Bitcoin or fraction of a Bitcoin you have, and so on. However, non-fungible means that it does matter which one you have. It's unique. Whether it's the only one or part of a limited number of items in which there is a quality that differentiates it from others, it matters which one you have. Now, let's go to stamps for an example, because postage stamps in real life live in this dual world of the fungible and the non-fungible, and that largely depends on what you intend to use them for. If you are sending mail, postage stamps are totally fungible. I could use this forever stamp with a flag, or this one with Batman. Both will send a letter anywhere in the US. In fact, I can completely swap the forever stamp with these stamps that add up to 58 cents. It doesn't matter which ones I use as long as I meet the current postage rate. However, if the stamp is perceived to be a collectible item, then it is non-fungible. Everything about the stamp that makes it unique becomes important, from its condition, its centering, its perforation, its color. Even the fact that you own it makes it a unique and non-fungible entity. Okay, that's the NF. And T, token, simply put, is a representation for something. Have I mentioned that NFTs are a really big deal at the moment?
Visa purchased a CryptoPunk NFT for $150,000, sparking a burst of transactions In the digital artwork that totaled more than $20 million in sales.
In music, the Kings of Leon releasing an NFT-only album.
NFT sales hitting $340 million. That's up from $12 million in December.
The art world just turned upside down with the sale of this digital collage.
NFT auctioned off by Christie's yesterday went for a record-shattering $69 million.
Nearly $70 million.
$69.3 million.
Interesting to note that owning an NFT doesn't give you sole rights for using the item. People can still copy and display the item. It's on the internet. For example, I didn't spend a cent on this cat gift that sold for over $500,000, but here I am showing it to you. As for now, my Rhino and Day of the Dead NFTs are just out there, something that I'll keep an eye on as the technology continues to mature. And it needs to mature for the current community of stamp collectors to buy into it. Now, I consider myself relatively tech savvy. I make these videos and post them onto social media, for example, so that should be worth something. However, I really struggled with this blockchain space. Now, the VV app that the USPS posted its NFT on was fairly straightforward, and I was able to figure that out. But the Rhino stamp from Austria had me figuring out crypto wallets, side chains for the main chains, such as DAI and XDAI off of Ethereum. I had to use a token bridge. I was trying to move it from one side chain to the main chain, and I had to pay transaction fees, which are called gas fees, and I think they reward miners. I also got numerous 404 error pages throughout this experience. I clearly didn't know what I was doing, and I struggled. As for now, the physical stamp that could be used as postage is the one that I'm able to put alongside my collection and enjoy today.